I think I'm gonna go ahead and start. So let me start by sharing my screen. Okay, just a second. Okay, I hope you can see it.
Yes, you can see it very well.
Okay, all right. So I'll start by introducing myself. And before that, I would like to welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for creating your time and availing yourself so we can all learn together. It's very important in life to be people who have a teachable spirit. Like you're always open to learning because that's how we grow, that's how we become better. So I'm excited to be here and to share what I know. So my name's Grace Gathu from Mombasa, and I am a mom of two, or rather three, one not here, two here, and married, and I am in the forever living business. I am a manager in the business, and I love health and wellness. It's an area that really blesses my heart. And as I continue, we learn why I really appreciate that area. And that's why I'm really excited about the training tonight, because that's we'll be focusing on weight management, which is of course one of the areas that falls under health and wellness. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start. We'll be doing it together with my colleague, sister, leader, my leader, Dr. Swabra. So I hope you're excited. I hope you have your notebooks ready and your pens so we can learn together. So next, what is weight management, right? What comes to your mind when you think about weight management? And I'm going to make an assumption. A lot of us think about weight loss. A lot of us think about losing weight. We never really think about the other areas, which are like weight gain or maintaining the current weight if you're already having you are at your healthy weight. But a lot of us, every time we hear weight management, we tend to just think of weight loss. But today, we are going to teach you more that it's not just about that. And basically, what weight management is, it's an involvement of sustainable practices. They have to be sustainable, right? Practices and approach to maintaining a healthy lifestyle leading to a healthy body weight, right? I know you know about BMIs, but I know in Africa mostly it's waist to hip ratio. But I don't know how many of us have ever tried the BMI and they know where they lie and what's the healthy BMI and what's not healthy. But it's also determined by age, by sex, by physical activity. So there are a lot of factors that go into that. And then the weight management, what we are talking about today, should be long term. So they are not quick fixes or things we just do for a short period and then we are done and we move on. No, these should be things that you're able to do for the rest of your life. So it basically becomes a lifestyle. That's where now we talk about weight management. And that is what we'll be looking at tonight, right? So we'll be looking at weight loss, we'll be looking at weight gain, and we'll be looking at current weight maintenance. And depends with where your goals are. Some of us, like me, I want to lose weight. There are some who want to gain weight, and there are some who, okay, they just need to maintain where they are. So they don't really need to do the rest. So based on where you are, where your needs are, you get to pick what you'd like to learn today. So there are different key aspects when it comes to weight management. And the first one is healthy and balanced eating. Okay. There are some roles that play into that. And I love the first picture there, the one with a plate, because it makes me really crack up, because I know in our African homes, this honestly does not apply for the most part. Actually, when it comes to stuff like vegetables, I know that one we think about it mostly when we are having like ugali or something, just because we were brought up knowing that you're supposed to have some veggies, whether it's kales, it's spinach, it's cabbage, it's kienyeji mbogas, whatever you may be taking with your sima or gali. That is when actually most people entertain vegetables, but it'd be very hard to find a lot of people who are actually taking stuff like rice or maybe chapati or any other starch, and they remember to add vegetables. Very few families actually do that. And this is something that should not be even an option. And half your plate, if you've already had your dinner, I want you to think about your plate. And if you haven't also, I want you to think about your plate. Do you ensure that half your plate is vegetables? It's supposed to be 50%. And when you talk about vegetables, how do you even prepare them? Do you overcook them? I mean, it should be like 2 minutes and it's out, or 3 minutes and it's out. Because the more you cook them, then you're killing all the nutrients. You're just eating ijaze tumbo, but really it doesn't help you. And that is why a lot of people, when we are doing, actually, when you're looking at our C9 program, they try to tell us to try and take raw vegetables or like steamed, and not so that you don't kill the nutrients in the food. The other 25% should be your proteins. What do we normally see sometimes? Mtu anajaza nyama, it's a lot of meat on their plate. It should not be like that. It should only be 25%. And then when it comes to your carbs and your starches, it should be 25%. And here we are talking about whole grain, fiber-rich carbohydrates. What does this mean? I'll give an example of ugali, which is basically corn flour with boiled water, in case there's someone who doesn't know what that is. A lot of us will go to the store, the supermarket, and will buy the processed flour. And that is what we'll use in our ugali. But the people who are in the village, or the people who are also in the city, but they take their maize and they take it to the millers and they get the organic unga, that one. They're the ones who are actually having a healthy meal. And that is what we are supposed to take. But what do we take? We like the one that's processed and it is very white and it's very quick to make it. And what are you doing to your body? All right, we will see as we continue. For when it comes to rice also, are you really considering whole grains? Are you even considering brown rice? Or are you considering like wild rice? Have you even ever tried that? All we do is take white rice. So those are some of the things you're supposed to think when it comes to balanced eating. How is that plate? And I know there are so many circumstances that probably cause us not to really think about it. For example, I'll give an example that I was thinking about today while I was preparing for this. When we look at our meats, and I'll use chicken, a lot of people end up using me included, okay, end up using the what we call the grade kuku or GMO kuku because it is more affordable. So even when I'm watching what I'm eating and probably maybe I'm doing like chicken breast my salad, I'll end up getting that one. But how many times do I actually think of I should go and get free range chicken, organic chicken? We don't think about it a lot because it tends to be costly. But at the end of the day, when we think about it, this cheap GMO chicken will end up costing you more. So we are supposed to actually think organically and try to get organic food for our families, for ourselves, all right? And not really think about the cost and think, oh, it's very expensive. And when I'm talking about this part, I would like to slide in something or rather. I'd like to talk about our aloe vera gel, which we find in our C9 kit. This is why it comes in handy. Why? Because we are taking a lot of toxins without even knowing, right? Some we know, like when we take the GMO chicken. Some we don't know, like when maybe you've purchased something and afterwards it's recalled and you don't know. However, you can be in control, or rather try to be in control of what goes into your body by detoxing your system, right? Which basically helps us in our weight management, adding up to the balanced eating. And what does our aloe vera do? I love our aloe vera. I think I abuse it. I think my 1 liter container stays for like 5 days and it's gone. It detoxes our system, it cleanses out all the toxins, it helps with energy levels, it helps clear our system completely. So if probably you had taken something with toxins, it's able to clear your system and set you up to be able to absorb the right nutrients. So it's a very powerful drink that we should all have in our homes. It's not even an option. Like, we should all have it and ensure our families have it because of the benefits of that drink. Let's say you've eaten something, you're constipated, you're feeling uncomfortable, you take it and you get relief. Why? Because it helps, it supports our digestive tract and system. So that is not even something we should think about when it comes to aloe vera. And I've shared it there on our screen. We can see it. Okay. So as I continue, the other thing I would like to talk about is fats. I would like to mention them a little bit. A lot of things we take in contain what we call saturated fats. I don't want to get very scientific here. And what happens, it raises the bad cholesterol, if you can remember from our school, which was called LDL. And what happens after a while, if you consume a lot of that, it ends up raising the bad cholesterol, which ends up causing a lot of blockage in us. And that's where our aloe vera comes in again, because it helps with taking care of that by clearing and by supporting our digestive tract, also our arteries, all those, our systems. So that is why you should not miss it in your house, and that is why it is in the C9 kit. And you don't just use it when you're using your C9. It is something that should be an everyday habit. When you wake up in the morning, before you take anything, you use your aloe vera, and before you sleep, you use your aloe vera, and so does your family. That includes your kids, your husband, or whoever you live with. Okay. So something else I would like to add to that is the support we get from some of the supplements we have in our C9 kit. And we'll find Forever Garcinia and we'll find Forever Thumb. And I'm going to just shortly describe what they are for people who don't know. Forever Garcinia, basically what it does, it suppresses our appetite. Okay. It really helps when it comes to that. And I'm a testimony of that. It also helps us, it curbs the cravings, right? Also, so if you're a person who is into sweet things, you like snacking and stuff like that, this is something you can look at that will help your body. And what it does, because they are 100% food supplements, they basically bridge the gap that we don't get from our food, because we don't get 100% of the nutrition that we need from our meals. So that is why this comes in and supports our body. It also helps our enzymes inside to say, hey, don't convert these meals into fats. Why don't you use the fat that has been stored in the body? So it really, really helps us. So this is something else you should look at. If you're thinking about managing your weight, whether you're just managing currently where you are, or whether you're managing weight loss, or even you want to gain, this is something you should consider. We also have the Forever Thumb. I love this one, and I will share why I love it. Because for me, I was the kind of person, all I needed was to sniff food and I gained 5 kgs, right? My metabolism was whack. So with this food supplement of Thumb, it's been able to support my metabolism. And now I am able to function the way that my body should. And I've been able to see the transition by adding this food supplement into my meals. Okay, so this is something else I would also encourage us to use as we continue. So it's not even a choice if you're someone who is focusing on managing your weight. This is something you should have, not only when you're doing the C9, but just for your everyday health. This is something I like saying. When you're not okay, when you're not healthy, when you're not well, it doesn't matter how much you have, it doesn't matter your social status, it doesn't matter what. let me tell you, you won't be able to do anything. And we cannot buy health. That is why we have these beautiful products to help us prevent, to help us bridge the gap so we can be better. Okay. I am going to talk about the next two as I continue. As we continue with key aspects, I would like to talk about the physical activities. But let me share quickly something before I move on to physical activities. Let's focus on the plate that I had shared. So a while back, I was invited for dinner somewhere. I like training while I'm giving stories because for me, it's relatable. Okay, it means it's real life. It's something that I've done. It's not just something I'm reading from a book or someone else's story. Okay, it's my story. So there was once I was invited for a dinner, and they were actually Americans. They were white. And I remember dinner was being served at 6 p.m. So see, I went with my nja. I'm like, oh yeah, I get to actually, enjoy their meals. And I remember when dinner was served, and I was like, oh my God, is this the dinner? There was a lot of salad, like what you're seeing on our plate. Let me just move back so you can see it. There was the same, similar vegetables. And I remember the other thing was like pot stickers. I don't know, like dumplings. I don't know how many of us know those, but you can Google after this and just see them. And I think there was like chicken, roasted chicken. And I was like, it was actually baked. So I remember we ate, we finished, and I think we had some fresh juice. And I couldn't wait to leave so that I hit the next McDonald's because I was starving. But that is how they eat. Imagine comparing that to our meals. Sisi tunajaza tu tumbo, you just fill your stomach, you eat that huge ugali and you just sleep, surely. And then you wake up and you get into your car. We don't even walk anymore. Anyway, this takes us to the next one. Next slide. So the other key aspect is physical activity. Let me ask you, when was the last time that you decided today I am going to walk? Okay, for those that have cars, you decided today I'm going to park a little bit further. If you're going to the supermarket, you pick the car parking spot and buy you kombali so that you can just walk a little bit more than you would. How many of us decide I'm not going to use the lift? When you're going to the head office, how many decide today I won't take the lift? Let me take the stairs. Okay, and you're going up. You're just like, which lift should I use? Is it this side or that side? That is the first thought that comes to your mind. You don't want to walk. We can't even compare ourselves to uko kitambo. I remember when I was a kid, when we'd go to the village, we used to like trek to go visit relatives. And now I think about it and I'm like, how are we able to do that? And guys, I'm not judging you. I'm like one of you. Like I will find the parking spot that's next to the door closest, and it's not even raining. It's not because of rain, it's not because I don't want to walk. But anyway, it has changed now. I'm becoming better. So I just want you to ask yourself that question. How many of us consider physical activities? And I love these photos shared here. I love kwanza the one for Dr. Swabra. Mumshangilie huko kwa chat. Hey, 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 hey. This is Mount Kenya. How many of us watch hata hiyo Mount Kenya? When you go to the village, you say, wacha nipande mlima. We are busy Ubering, finding a bike, a boda. You're like, no, I can't even do this. I won't be able to breathe well, stuff like that. Guys, we need to change the way we operate. If we want to live longer, if you want to be better, we have to incorporate physical activities in our everyday, not because you want to lose weight. Okay, a lot of us think we do this because of losing weight. A lot of people think we are going to the gym because you want to lose weight. Yes, for some of us it's true, but it should be a lifestyle. Why are you going there? I remember a friend sharing, she's very small. Okay, so she was going to the gym, and then she met a friend, and the friend asked her, oh, umekuja kufanya nini gym? Why are you coming to, register, sign up for the gym? And that's because alifikiria, oh, she's tiny. What is she coming to do here? Gym ni ya watu wanono. Who told you that? Have you seen people from outside Europe, states and wherever, they walk, they go to the gym, they take their supplements, na ni wadogo. Then as we are here assuming we are very small, I'm healthy, I'm okay, I shouldn't hit the gym, I shouldn't walk, I shouldn't do that, I should just relax, I mean, unless I see tumbo mikono, I see the shape is not okay, for men nianze kuona kitambi, that is when I'll hit the gym. No, can we stop today? You need at least 30 minutes every day of a certain physical activity, whether you're going to dance, whether you're going to walk, whether you're going to take a flight of stairs, whether you're going to whatever it is you'll decide to do that is just active. Kindly do so. Let's all purpose to do that so we can live longer, we can be better. All right. And for those of us who are parents, we're also setting examples for our kids. They are watching us. Okay. So we need to change these things. So from today, on the chat, I want you to write 30 minutes a day. If you don't work out, if you do nothing, if you wake up and all you do is work and everything else, but no physical activity, you put it in the chat that from today, half an hour, I will do something about it. Okay? All right. I think tutawafuatilia, by the way, should be accountable. So while I'm talking about here, some of the products that can really help us when it comes to this, I love our Forever Ultra Light. Right. Why? Because you can, before you hit the gym or you start your activity, the physical activity that you're deciding to do, you take it and it gives you strength, a lot of strength, a lot of energy for you to be able to, whether it's working out, and you can also take it after your activity. Okay, so sometimes when I come back home, yes, I will probably say nowadays I gym. So when I come back from the gym, I'll take my aloe vera first and then wait like half an hour, and then I take my ultralight, and it keeps me full for a long period. Remember, this is protein, and our protein, each scoop is 24 grams. Okay. And that means, and protein takes longer to be digested. It uses a lot of energy to be digested. So it means your body will be working excess, therefore burning calories. For those who are looking at weight loss, okay, you burn more calories because of the energy needed to actually digest protein, and it keeps you fuller for longer. Okay, so those are some of the habits we can incorporate. For those who want to gain, you incorporate it with your meals. So I'm not going to get to so much detail into it, but that is basically what it does. And it tastes delicious. Have you tried it? Even Forever Living and you've not tried the ultralight because you're assuming it's for people who are on the C9, kindly place your order tomorrow and take it. Okay, it doesn't mean you're going to gain weight. If you take it, you're going to lose. Just take it to maintain your current weight. It's a good product. It's giving you extra protein. Punguza, sima, ongeza, ultralight. Okay, thank you. Oh, we're all drawing on my screen. And that's me in the middle in the gym. Another tip I want to give you guys is our Forever Fiber. It's amazing. Every time you're taking your water, ensure at least once a day you have it and you add it into your water. Why? We all know fiber. It helps our gut system. It helps us when we are going to the loo. It helps us be fuller longer. And ours has prebiotic fiber. It has, it's amazing. You should just add it at least once a day. So also, if you've never tried it, stop assuming it should be done when you're doing a C9. Okay? Oh, I'll answer that later. So stop assuming that it's just for people who are doing a C9. I'll give you another secret. When we wake up in the morning, a lot of us, our breakfast are very carb heavy. Okay? And I don't know who lied to us that we have to eat bread in the morning, we have to take mahamri, we have to take mandazi, all these sweet things. I actually love people who actually take food in the morning or protein. I mean, you see that dinner you're eating right now, can you save it for your breakfast? Why are you eating it right now and then you sleep after this training? Unless you took it at like 6 or 5, it's okay. Or you take it now and you'll go to bed at midnight, which is actually wrong for your weight management. But unless it is that, let's stop taking those carb-heavy breakfasts. They don't help us. We even give it to our kids. That is wrong. Can we give our kids food? If you're giving them cereals from the store, you're just going to pick them. Have you even checked the sugar amounts in them? We should be giving them stuff that is healthy. In fact, food is good, or the protein. Okay, take it. If you don't have time, you're in a hurry, it's early in the morning, they don't want to take the protein, make a smoothie out of it. Give them, all right? And use fresh fruits. Give them, it will help them. You yourself also grab one as you're leaving the house. Stop taking you take your bread, then you apply jam, so you add more sugar, you apply blue band, you add more, and you're thinking, oh my God, I had a very healthy breakfast. You add sausages and bacon, and you're thinking, oh my God, this is proteins that I'm adding to my meal. That is processed food. That is processed meat. It is not good for you. Why don't you grab our ultralight instead and add to your smoothie? And then another tip I'm going to give you, if you're eating something sweet, you're really craving it, and by the way, if you're craving it, then you should take our Garcinia to curb that craving. You should always add fiber, okay, so that it doesn't give you an insulin spike. Okay, I don't want to get too scientific when I get to that. So those are some of the things that you should consider. So our C9 kit basically contains all these products that are meant to help us. And there's one supplement that I actually I added it in the photo. It's our lean, Forever Lean. If you know that you're struggling, like you and food are in the same WhatsApp, and you, for some reason, you must eat your 3 full meals in the morning. Kwanza, who told you you have to eat in the morning, you have to eat at lunchtime, you have to eat at dinner, and you have to eat snacks in between? Eat when you're hungry. Why are we eating when you're not hungry? Because our mom said you must eat in the morning, then snack. You must eat at lunchtime, then snack, and then eat when you're hungry. If you're not hungry, don't eat. Wait. Okay? And then hydrate. Yes, I know the screen is not moving because I've not moved it. It's okay. It's me. I've like paused it. We don't have a lot of slides. We're actually talking more because we want you to focus and listen more and take notes. So it's okay, don't worry, but thank you for that. So the next time you're grabbing bread in the morning, please remember me, please remember my voice, and kick it away, unless it is brown. And when I talk about brown, it's not just what we get from the store, it's like whole meal brown bread, like the one that doesn't taste nice. Yes, that one, that is the one I'm talking about. So the other last thing I would like to mention quickly is hydration, which is very important. I know a lot of people sometimes struggle with taking water, but this is not even an option. Our bodies are like, what percent is it? 80 or 90? Dr. Swabra will tell us. Water. So we need water. You need to hydrate all the time. And for men, you need an average of 3.7 liters a day, which is around 15.5 cups. And for women, it's around 2.7 liters a day, which is around 11.5 cups a day. So basically, it's 8 glasses a day, a little bit more. But again, it depends. Are you an active person? Do you hit the gym? Do you walk? Do you swim? Whatever it is you do for your physical activity. And if you don't, and you don't take water, you're in trouble. Okay, don't wait until you have a headache. That's when you're remembering you need to take your water. Just break it down. In the morning, take some, maybe 2 glasses. During the day, just spread it out during the day. And remember to add your fiber when you're taking your water. If you can't take it in the water, add it to your smoothies when you're having the ultralight. Okay, so yeah. Thank you very much, guys. I am going to welcome Dr. Swabra to take us through the remaining aspects, which is sustainable habits. And thank you, guys. Thank you. I hope you've learned something. Yeah. Welcome, Dr. Swabra. Okay.
Thank you.
I think I...
Thank you for that awesome training. I don't know which account Doc is using.
Austin. You should be Austin.
So I got her.
Yeah.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Perfect. Good evening, guys. Thank you, Upline Grace. That was very informative. Tafadhali tuone makofi. Tafadhali kwa chat box. We've learned a lot. Okay. So I am supposed to basically wrap it up and talk about other non-scale wins of doing the C9. Okay, I'd like to see a lot of claps on on the chat box because that was a lot of knowledge being shared. Okay, so just a minute. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Perfect. So it's the same screen Grace was using, and I'll just take it from right there. And so the process and basically sustainable habits, when we're talking about food, even before I start on this slide, I'd like you to imagine this scenario. It's like a movie. You get hungry and you put something in your mouth. And every time you put something in your mouth, whatever that is, whether it's a carbohydrate, a protein, a vegetable, something fibrous, whether it's fluid, it doesn't matter what you're putting in your mouth. But basically, every time you put something in your mouth, your body receives it. It receives it where? In your GIT system. And you are assuming that your GIT system, the GIT system is your digestive system, okay? Your intestines, your stomach, your small intestine, your large intestine, that they're receptive enough, that they're cleansed enough, that they're not clogged with sludge, that they're fresh and clean and new. It's like a brand new pipe, a brand new sponge that can absorb all these beautiful, beautiful nutrients. And so then you go ahead and absorb whatever nutrients you put in your body. I will not talk over nutrients because we're assuming here that the nutrients are good, are healthy, are wholesome, not like the potatoes that Daktari was talking about, the ones from Nyandarua, which were full of pesticides, okay? Hence our presentation today. And so your body takes it. And immediately your body takes it. How does your body takes it? It permeates your GIT, the layers into your bloodstream. And immediately those calories hit your bloodstream. There's something called insulin. Imagine insulin to be this mtu wa mkono, okay? Mtu wa mkono, basically a truckload of luggage has just come and someone needs to unpack it from the bloodstream into the actual cell that needs this energy for it to function. I hope you've understood up to that point. And so insulin becomes this potter who just shuffles back and forth between your bloodstream, collects the sugars, collects the calories, and deposits it into the cell where it's actually needed. And you know what? Every time you keep calling insulin, just like the way you keep calling someone who's working and is doing manual laboring, at some point, they look at you and say, boss, even me, I get tired. You're summoning me too much. Jibebe mwenyewe, you carry for yourself. And so that is what we call insulin resistance. And so if you are pausing your system and pushing your system every time your insulin is working overtime, you're a snacker, you're a grazer, your insulin will look at you and say, yo, guy, I'm tired. And so then you develop insulin resistance. The minute you have insulin resistance, I will speak for the women. Insulin resistance as a starting point is a beginning of all the mothergothanios that will now form your hormonal imbalance. Yes, it can even go that way. So this is beyond weight. Okay. And so that means we're looking at all the hormones and the production of the hormones and the function of these hormones, and things are just cascading downwards simply because of that starting point, which was just insulin resistance. Insulin resistance, the minute you're at that point, we're actually saying that you are literally one step away from diabetes mellitus. So you do not have diabetes, but I literally just need to flick you with my finger and you'll fall on the diabetes side. So there is a deeper aspect to our eating, to our grazing. It goes beyond the kilograms, it goes beyond the weight loss we see on the what is called scale. And so then you may want to literally now turn back to your nutritionist, turn back to your supplements, turn back to your educator, your healthcare provider. Have a conversation. Have a conversation with yourself, first of all, even before you have a conversation with other people. Look at your plate. And then now look at your plate and decide, what is this in this plate that is triggering my insulin? Okay? And so we know by science alone, usually most foods that have a high glycemic index, so you're thinking your carbohydrates, you're thinking your processed foods, you're thinking your sugary snacks, you're thinking your processed fizzy drinks, your sodas, your beer, all these things have a very high glycemic index. And so what do? They spike insulin more. you may want to reconsider that, because anything that spikes your insulin is not good for you. And then I'll explain it in layman again. What is spiking the insulin? Have you ever wondered why when you take chipo, mwanzo the oily ones, zile za mwitu, hata si zile safi, zile chipo, zile za mtaa, they are the sweetest and you feel so good. There is a very nice feeling when you consume carbohydrate versus when you actually consume a protein. The feeling you get after taking chipo is not the same feeling you get after consuming, say, for example, ndengu. It is not, because even the satiety center, the amount of pheromones released are very different. Your body wants quick fixes. If you've trained it to get quick fixes, that's where it goes. And so that means your insulin spikes. And for a brief while, your blood sugar levels are reading with high sugar. You're feeling so good. It's like a high. It's like a high. It's like you've taken a shot of something. But the same way it takes you high that fast is the same way it drops you down that fast. If you've looked at drug users, usually it's a high they chase. So that means it takes them so high, but the minute it drops you down so bad. The hunger pangs you get after, you could literally eat anyone. So that's what we talk about, insulin spiking. Now, if you're to look at your clusters or food groups, you may want to tend towards your proteins, because your proteins do not raise your insulin to those extents. And that is why I love a C9 pack. By the way, this C9 pack, it's magic. Why? Because everything is so well thought out. If you look at even the biology of how we consume, how we use, how the body breaks down, how the body decides, now I'll store this for later. If you look at every product, if you look at the allogel, you're looking at a cleansed system, better absorption. You're looking at good nutrition. You're looking at aloe is food in a bottle. Then you go to the next product, which is Garcinia. Garcinia is even used for conditions such as diabetes, because it's an appetite suppressant. It mobilizes the stored fats. You know, you guys, you are stored, please. You need to leave a system. It actually prevents the absorption of fats. So we're not storing anymore. Enough is enough. We're using what we have stored. Okay, to me, a stock. We're not adding any more stock. We have therm. Therm is a thermogenesis. When you hear thermogenesis, think brown fat. Think that thing which burns fat for you, even at rest. I love the protein powder, the Forever Light, because I think for someone to give you 24 grams per scoop, you know, just to put it into perspective, one egg is 6 grams. Like if you're taking one scoop of that protein powder, you've just swallowed 4 eggs. I can look at the amount of satiety you will have with 4 eggs, how much stretchability you've taken your stomach through versus that drink that goes through your system and is absorbed much faster. Okay? It has fiber. One packet of that tiny, tiny little fiber is basically equivalent to 2.5 cups of brown rice worth of fiber. That is a lot of fiber, because even per meal, you're not even supposed to have 2.5 cups. Okay? So everything has been carefully curated. How they tell you to take it allows for systematic application of all these biological processes to apply. Take this first, wait for 30 minutes, because we first need to mobilize, bring it to the GIT, clean it out with the allogel, now put in this so that this can be absorbed better, finish with this protein so that the protein can be absorbed and actually fill up the spaces where you've lost the fat so that you don't remain looking old and wrinkly. Aki. For the fear of sounding too scientific, I would like for you guys to keep reminding me that we are together. Are we together, guys? Are we together? Please, let's write in the comment box, are we together? Okay, tuko pamoja. Perfect. If I lose you, stop me right there. Someone just write, Dr. Swabra, stop. Emmanuel, alert me if I lose people, because this is a very important topic. So that was fact number 1, that the putting together of this C9 pack was beautifully, wonderfully done. Okay. Number 2, fact number 2, Sisi wa Africa, we lost the plot a long time ago. Every time we are meeting, we're celebrating, we're mourning, there's food involved. I've missed you so much. Let's have a coffee. I'm not seeing you in a while. Let's have a coffee. Oh my God, I lost an auntie. Kwa mazishi, there's food. Oh, there's a wedding. Buffet. Oh, sijui, my child, baby shower, food. When did you ever meet someone and tell them, I miss you so much. Let's go take a walk as we talk and catch up. Okay, so some of these practices, we were taught, even when we were younger, okay, we were taught that it is a show of how probably well off you are or how put together you are if you can be seen seated at Java versus walking at Arboretum. Okay? It is a show of, how well off you're doing if you can drive your car to wherever you're going as opposed to cycling. I love Europe very much. Why? Even the BMI, general BMI of people in Europe is slightly lower. I'm not saying US, I'm talking about Europe. Because people are either cycling or using scooters or walking. Just there's a culture of physical activity. And that is a second mind shift that we have to undergo as Africans. Okay? Tafadhali, I have not missed you enough for me to have coffee with you. I have missed you enough for me to take a walk with you. If I've missed you that much, then we talk. What are we eating? Okay? Number 3, I'm still not done. When we're looking at the ingredients of a C9, and I'll go back to the protein, and I think by now, if you've not figured it out, by now you should know. The Ultra Light is one of my favorite Forever Living products. That protein powder is magic, okay? If you look at how our bodies are made, what holds your frame, the bulk of your body is not even fat, it's actually muscle. You are made of a big percentage of muscle. Second to water, other than skin being your largest organ, followed by the fluid in your body, then we're talking about muscle. And what is muscle? Muscle is your factory that burns fat. If you live with nothing else from this training, always think muscle is king. Muscle is the one thing where if you are working out right now, you're burning fat, but even at rest, if you've built a big enough muscle, it burns fat for you even when you're asleep. Whereas if you're doing, for example, cardio in the gym, you're just burning fat. When you leave that gym, you've not built enough muscle for you to continue burning even at rest. So we go back to thermogenesis. We go back to the therm we're talking about. So prioritize building muscle. And how do you build muscle? 2 ways only. We only build muscles 2 ways. We're building it, number 1, by consuming protein. And what is a daily recommended dose? We're talking about 0.8 as per your body weight. So for example, if you are a 50 kilogram woman, 0.8 times 50 gives you 40, I think, mathematics yangu, probably, I don't know. I think it gives you 40, right? Confirm, someone confirm. So if it gives you 40, it means in a day, I should consume in totality 40 grams of protein. If you are 80 kilograms, you should be consuming 64 grams of protein. Do you know how much 64 grams of? I told you, 1 egg is 6 grams. Now, talk about 64 grams. Are you going to consume 10 eggs in a day, bare minimum? Wait, be serious. In this economy, do you know how much eggs are? Okay? Isn't it then easier to substitute 1 scoop of Forever Light, which gives you already, for someone like me, who my daily recommended is 40, the Forever Light gives me past half of my daily recommended dose. So all I need is just to take 1 scoop per day. Okay? Why is muscle king again? Not just to burn fat for you. It is what gives you longevity of life, my friend. A study was done, and in aging people, they looked at who of those people looked older, aged faster, had more predisposition to disease. It was the people with lesser muscle fat. There's a test that you can do that looks at your body composition. It tells you, hey, so and so, I will use Linda Ngay. Linda, your fat is like this percent, and your fat is like this percent, your water body is like this percent, da, 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 da. Please go. It is at Healthy You can get that test done immediately, and it will tell you what you're carrying. And I promise you, the predictability of how long you live this, of course, other factors considered. If you're going to get knocked by a car, by all means, no matter how much muscle you have, anyway, that's a bad joke. But those who live longer have more muscles. It goes down to functionality of your organs. It goes down to the stability of your frame. It goes down to the basic metabolic processes. So the more muscle you have, the better you are. Those who are transitioning towards menopause, through andropause, you guys, we had a training. What did we say? Every year, a woman above 40, you're losing about 2% of your muscle mass per year. Like, you're just chilling. You're not even annoying anyone, but somehow you lose muscle mass just like that. Like that. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of muscle to you. And you've not even, you need to work harder to replace that which you're losing naturally. Okay? Andropause the same way. Okay? Andropause the same way. Men go through the transition the same way. And so basically, these are the basic concepts that we have towards food and our relationship with food. I'll give a small story. If most of you don't know, I had what we call bariatric surgery. It is not the surgery per se I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the 3 weeks prior to the actual surgery. So you go in, you get your consultation, and you are scheduled for surgery, okay? And they first of all put you through a criteria. Not everybody is eligible for the surgery. But the 3 weeks prior, you're put through a rigorous diet program. And for the life of me, I did not understand. If I'm going to have a surgery, why are you stressing my life? But it is for 2 reasons. It is a liquid-only diet, and it is balanced because a nutritionist usually puts it together. And the way I look at it now in retrospect, and what I see in the C9, sort of the same thing. Because what does it do? It gives you already a mindset where you are at a calorie deficit. You're teaching your body to consume that which is just enough, not an ounce more. That has to be taught in the brain. It's not taught in the stomach. Your stomach is just a follower. Your stomach is your second brain. Your real brain is where you make your decisions. Okay? Good. So for 21 days, you're teaching your mind to eat a certain way, to pick certain foods. You're forming a habit. Some study was done in 2009 by some people, and they showed that it takes 21 days to form a habit. Okay? And the way I look at it, the way the C9 is built, followed by the F15, those are 23 days. 9 plus 15, 24 days. By the time you go through those programs, it is beyond even the ingredients of a program. It is a mindset that you actually live with. It is a discipline, and it is a discipline muscle that you are developing, not even necessarily what you've put in through your mouth through those 24 days. Because, you can undo everything. You do very good C9, you do very good F15, and then a few days later, you have reverted back to your bad practices. You undo everything, okay? But my take home, whenever I take a group of people through the C9, it is not so much the food you're eating. It is a practice you are. I am teaching you that you need to teach your body this, you need to teach your body this. So I'll still go back to my pre-surgery diet. So number 1, it teaches your mind how to consume. If you are at the success day, you remember we said you eat up to when you're 80% full. Never eat up to when your mind tells you are 100, because by the time your mind is telling you at 100, a few moments later, your mind will tell you, oops, sorry, we underestimated. You're now at 130. You have overeaten, because the signals between your tummy and your mind, okay, is usually slower. It takes time to click in. Eat up to your 80% full. But the most important thing is the minute you take your body through a cleanse, and that is the beauty of a cleanse, we reduce certain things. We reduce fatty liver in your body. The size of your liver, the fact that your liver is overwhelmed. People look at fat on the outside. Me, I'm more worried about the fat on the inside. Okay? The visceral fat, that is a fat you should be worried about. And so by default, you do day 1, you do day 2. Studies have shown that it literally takes 5 days of eating consistently, and you start shifting liver fat. Liver fat can predispose you to so many chronic illnesses. So that is the second thing you're actually reversing before you even go for the surgery. My C9 gives you 9 days of a cleanse. What have you done to your liver? Okay, good. Number 3, and this now goes back to the slide. I think let me share my slide again. Perfect, here. Can you see my slides, guys? Okay, I have the slides. I don't know if you guys can see them. Good. So the process, good. So the sustainable habits we're talking about here, I know I've talked a lot outside of it, and time is actually running out. So the sustainable habits we're talking about here is, I am looking at a situation where you adopt a balanced and nutritious diet. Okay, look at your diet outside of a C9, because you're doing the C9 every 6 months, every 3 months or so. But outside of a C9, the C9 should have taught you how to look at your plate. There's a beautiful plate that Grace projected that you should learn in the process of C9. And if the person who invited you here has shared the C9 with you and you start on the program, then they should be able to coach you. You should be able to take pictures of your plate and share with the person who invited you, your coach. I require that of you. Me, I'm not going to put you through the C9. I'm not going to sell you the C9. And then you're just eating and you're telling me you're eating healthy. I want to see what are you eating that is healthy. Okay. Number two, the C9 states it very clearly that it is not a replacement for regular physical activity. WHO recommends 150 minutes in a week. If you break that down into 5 days, that is 30 minutes in a day. If you break that down in twice, in the morning, do 15 minutes, in the afternoon, do 15, or evening, do 15. Aki, that is not a lot that we have asked of you. Then you should practice mindful eating. Chew your food. Chew your food completely. Let your mind register what you're consuming. Take sips in between your meals. Okay? Register 80% before you finish the entire plate. Give your tummy time to register that you might actually be full. The sustainable habits also look like building a supportive environment. Are your friends wale wasewa, to catch a drink in the evening? Every drink compounds, okay? Every small, harmless thing compounds into this big lifestyle that you're now not eating healthy, okay? Prioritize sleep. If I could talk about cortisol and stress increases your cortisol level. Sleeping badly, not having enough daily required hours of sleep induces your cortisol. What is cortisol? Cortisol is a very angry hormone. It's an inflammatory hormone. What does it do? It increases the accumulation of especially your midriff, your tummy fat. And so usually we call it a Cushing's appearance. Someone just looks like they're very big, especially around the tummy area. That's cortisol. Track your progress and set realistic goals. And this is what I usually want to end up with. You're not looking to lose all your weight in the 9 days. What is the recommended weight loss per week? We're talking about 0.5 kilogram to 1 kilogram. Have I seen people lose more? Yes. Is it possible to lose more? Yes. But the reason I'm saying track and set realistic goals is simply because it is more sustainable to maintain a habit if it is achievable, manageable chunks. You're not setting unrealistic such that you fall short. And then now when you fall short, it's like poof dead. You can't even get up anymore to start again. You're reassessing at, you are dealing with weekly chunky, like bites that you can decant in a week. You're not looking at, I want to lose 30. How will you lose this 30? Break it down. In a month, how many do I want to lose? In a week, how many do I want to lose? And then in a day, what am I doing? What are the daily practices that allow me? And so then what are the non-scale wins to doing the C9? And for those that I see on the chat box, the C9 is a cleanse or a detox program that we have by Forever Living Company that has come very nicely, beautifully curated to allow your body to let go of all the sludge it's holding on to. It revs up the engine of your metabolism. It gives you a very beautiful start, a jump start to your weight management program. And the reason actually Shiko invited me to this meeting is because, as she said, it's weight management, not necessarily weight loss. I do the C9 every 6 months, and it is not for weight loss. I usually just want to have a clean system that allows me to absorb maximally the beautiful nutrients that I will therefore put after. After the C9, what I don't show you behind the scenes is I now go all hard on protein, hard on healthy eating, hard on I'm looking to bulk. Some people are actually looking to bulk. Can they do the C9? Yes, they can. So ability to do more. You realize whether you've lost weight, whether you've gained weight, when you're at your optimum weight, you can do more. You even have the ability to dream for more. Inches are shedding off your body. So sometimes it may not even be the scale. Fun fact, protein is heavier than fat. So sometimes you may be looking trimmer. The inches are off your gut. And that's why in the C9, it comes with a tape measure. It doesn't come with a weight scale. It comes with a tape measure. Because we're literally measuring, okay, what inches you've lost, okay? The clothes fit better, and this translates to confidence. High energy levels. You'll be very surprised how lethargic holding on to a lot of toxins makes your body. It's like your metabolism is at an all-time, ni kama engine, iko na mafuta, iko na sludge mingi. You really want to do an oil change. And if you can do an oil change for your car, what more of your body? You sleep better. People who have more weight usually have what we call sleep apnea. Wanangorota, unamka usiku ni kama hata you can't breathe. Fitness level increases. Nutrition awareness is revved up. You have a higher focus, a sharper mind. You have better sex. Please, Hakuna cha kifo cha mende all the time. Sometimes once in a while, mshtue panda juu, okay? Better coping mechanisms. And this comes to discipline. What am I talking about here? If you can be able to stick on a program for 9 days, you're teaching your mind something, and you follow it up with another program, F15, you're teaching your mind something. That same tenacity translated to other aspects of your life teaches you better coping mechanisms. You'll find that you're not even distressed about small things. You who can do C9, sharp. Better skin, because remember, aloe vera is there, it is cleansing you, it is removing the toxins, it is giving you better looking skin. You have your protein, you're not looking like a haggard woman, you're looking plump, because underneath the fat that you lost, we're now replacing it with muscle. Muscle makes you look taut, tightened, okay? Less joint pains. I can remember when I was 115 kilograms, my God, Aki, the thought of gym would kill me, because I was doing more damage to my knees because of working out on that heavy weight and on those poor knees. So sometimes actually we ask you, don't go exercising if you are a bit too overweight, okay? You'll usually be told to first lose the weight, then now do high impact exercises. Improved mood. And the medical markers here I'm talking about, you're talking about cholesterol. You've heard about CAM, you've heard about Garcinia, okay? Social support, please. Can your new crew not be the ones that drink? Can they be found at Karura Forest? You understand? That's a good social support, okay? Imagine doing C9 program in a cluster, like in a WhatsApp group, and you're with other people. At the end of the C9, usually, I see people have become friends, okay? And they're exchanging notes. Why, guy, unapatiwa support hapo na hapo. That is all you need, okay? Beautiful plate, the ability to put together a plate, okay? Eventually you do learn that, okay, just by looking at my plate, just eyeballing it. I usually say, by the way, every time you're looking at your plate, you're thinking 3 things. Number 1, divide it into 2. So half. One half better look color green or colorful. And I do not mean mokimo. I mean mboga, okay? Number 2, this other half, divide by 2. So you have a quarter. Upper quarter, you're thinking protein. So think your fish, and by that, just to put it into perspective, because plate here is relative. Na mtu anaweza kwenda kuchukua sinia, aseme ni plate. Okay? No. A quarter, literally. Fold your hands in a fist. Ni kama utapiga mtu ngumi. That fist, that's a quarter, roughly speaking. So, the nyama you're eating, all the pieces collected, is that fist. The ugali you're eating, which is now the remaining a quarter, that is your complex carbohydrate. Move away from your white rice. Move away from the ugali flour from supermarkets. Go siaga yours, brown flour, all those things. Matoke, think nduma, think, viazi tamu. All that carbohydrate. Feast your hand. That is all the carbohydrate you need. Not the way as we serve most of people from coast. I will highlight. Where you serve all the rice on the plate, and then you mwaga soup, nyama, mchuzi, whatever rojo, and then ukiangalia na microscope, kule kadadu, unaona kamboga, kadalili kamboga. Shame, okay? And then, of course, improved finances. You'll not even be, you'll be very surprised if you actually take stock of all the little snacks that you're buying to make yourself feel better. Aka milkshake here, sijui, boba juice here, sijui what here. It amounts, please. Imagine if every time you create something, you took a glass of aloe, and then that money you would have used, you put in a jar. Please, you will gift yourself a very good gift. So, basically, that is all I brought to the table today. I would hope that we leave this training with more than just C9. The C9 is a beautiful tool to jumpstart. But then after jumpstarting, what happens after C9? That is a take home. What happens after F15? That is a take home. I know you can come again and do the C9, and you can come again and it is actually recommended. Every 3 to 6 months, please do your C9. Whether you're looking to lose weight, gain weight, it doesn't matter. But cleanse that system, clean that system, help your liver to detox that system. But after you've detoxed, you've cleaned the house, you come again with dirty shoes and walk all over the clean house. Shame. So the clean 9 is supposed to teach you more. You understand? So how then do I put clean, wholesome meals in my body? Your body is a temple. It is a one thing that will last. It started with you from day one, and it will go with you from the last. And so usually I say, approach your weight management journey from a point of love. You love yourself so much to want to change. You do not hate yourself so much into weight loss or into weight gain. You cannot hate your body into submission. You have to love it so much into building what you want of your temple. Thank you so much for having me. Back to you, Emmanuel.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Grace.